Good morning, afternoon, evening, whenever you see this. This is Dee with Older INFP Insights. And I thought I'd do several short videos today. I'm feeling a little bit better, doing some wash, so I gotta hang out until that's finished. I want to do a video I forgot to do a long time ago. Somebody had asked, I think, to compare the INFP and the INTP, how we get along or not. And I want to put the disclaimer out there. This channel is my perspective only. And I will say I do have a mental health background. In my mental health background, we didn't get into the MBTI, but I do enjoy psychology. I do enjoy all of this. This is my life experience. And so it's not written in gospel. It's just my perspective. And up until recently, I went through my adult life thinking and being an INTP. So I consider myself an INXP, but someone on one of these groups, MBTI groups, told me I could not be an X. There is no such thing as an X. I'm laughing. You can be an X in other things. Why can't you be an X in a thinker or a feeler? You can. I'm only 51% F, feeling. That's the way it tests no matter what test I take. Only 51%. I'm barely there. Make me mad and I get into a TV. I'm very logical. I can be very logical. I can turn that on. Probably quicker than most INFPs. I know we all have everybody has the thinking function. I understand that. Mine runs very strong at times, particularly when I'm arguing with people, debating, I will say, because I love to debate. Right now, not so much the older I get, but I've always enjoyed that because that's my competition, and that's how I throw in the INFP part, and I'll get into that. So as far as I know, I do know I have one grandchild, one grandson, who is an INTP. That I did have a debate when a political debate with him, and that was fun because he was in college, and I'm really old, and we don't see eye to eye about anything. And I turned on my INFP to him, and he finally gave up and quit. Which is a game I enjoy playing. And then I think, and what he's studying right now, he's actually in a PhD program, studying to work for NASA. He wants to be, whatever they do, a researcher, stay in a lab. He's not a people person. I can't imagine doing that. So that's one big difference. And INTP is, and then I think I will say that I believe my father, who was a physicist, and a meteorologist, I did mention that before, a meteorologist and a physicist. Oh Lord, I can't imagine doing physics. I believe was an INTP. I used to drive him nuts when I was a child asking a million questions because we did astronomy together and I wanted to know what was out there and he had no answers. He just, he would just blow me off too. So, that's why I think I'm more an INFP because I can really get under the skin of INTPs when we discuss. But INTPs tend to be more logical. They are logical. They think, they make decisions based on logic. And they are logical and things they have their ducks in a row. They think inside boxes. I do not even know where a box is. I do not know where my ducks are. So those are the main two differences. So the INFP is to know we make decisions and lead by our feelings, our values and our feelings. I can do that sometimes too. And there are times I do use that. But I don't feel good when I do use it. Because there are some people, for example, that I've had to cut out of my life that I realized were toxic for me. And I had to recently cut them out of my life, and I hated to do that because I really enjoy their company, even though they're using me and running all over the top of me and lying to me and this, that, and the other. I do enjoy them, but I know logically it's not good for me or my health, or it's not good for them either. So yes, you have to do that. So that's basically the difference that I see. But we are a lot alike. We do get along well. How I drove my father crazy. I'll just tell you how I drove both of them crazy. How I drove my father crazy. We'd go outside and he would show me the stars. He taught me all the constellations. Right now, the way the world is, I can't see the stars. There's a haze in the city. I've got to go find some stars somewhere. But he taught me where all the constellations, and I didn't stop there. That's where he stopped. He's logical. He got everything in a row, his ducks in a row. This is the Big Dipper. This is the Little Dipper. This, whatever. I wanted to know what's in the star. Back then when I was little, they didn't know all the stuff they know now. I wanted to know what's beyond everything. What are the stars made of? What are are they fairy dust? I have the INFPs. We have our imagination. Are they fairy dust? And I don't want to get into politics and religion on this channel, but I will say I wanted to know where heaven was. I wanted to know where heaven was. We go to church, we look, and heaven's up there, and I'm like, where's heaven? And he's like, it's up there. Well, then when we went to the moon, I was a teenager when first time we went to the moon. I asked him, okay, we've been to the moon, now where's heaven? And he said it was in the black hole. He just got so frustrated because he had no answer. And he just looked, he says, it's in the black hole somewhere. So I'm going to leave it at that. He's been deceased about 20 years. So if he were alive, I'd go back to him and I'm like, okay, we know about the black hole now. Do you have any other ideas? So that's how you kind of frustrate, that's how you can frustrate an INTP. That's how they get frustrated with us. Because we want to know the rainbows and unicorns part to the, we have a good fantasy world. We like to know, we're very curious. I want to know every little thing. And they had no answers. And INTPs definitely don't have answers. If you can't work it out in a math problem, it doesn't exist. From my experience, because both my grandson and my father are both into physics. My grandson's majoring in, that's a PhD program. I can't even remember these things. Astrophysics, that's what he's majoring in. So if you can't put it on pencil and paper, it does not exist. I'm the exact opposite. Now, that's how I drove my father crazy. I would ask 10 million questions. I think he enjoyed my curiosity, but it went beyond the pale with him. And when it goes beyond the pale with him, then they shut it down by just, as he told me, heaven's in the black hole. He just made that up to get me to be quiet. So with my grandson here, and that was politics, when the last presidential thing, he's all about, because he's a college student, he's all about having free education. I think he thinks he's going to stay in college the rest of his life. But I'm not for all that. I'm not for all of anything. I'm old, so we believe in working. We're boomers. We believe in working. Working till you die. That's what the thing is. Get out there and get your hands dirty. My grandson, I don't think he's ever gotten his hands dirty. He does know how to camp though, but he's an Eagle Scout. But I don't think he doesn't like to get his hands dirty. So we were talking, and he had everything logical, and I went down his logical path. I went down that rabbit hole being logical, And I say, yes, but what about this? And what about that? And it wasn't just student, I was asking, like, who's going to pay for it? That's where you get. And he got kind of stumped, and he's like, well, the money can come from. I said, okay, and then we kept on, and then, my INFP mind went to, the starving children in Africa. I grew up like that. If you don't eat your peas, there are children starving in Africa, and you're throwing away food. So that's that's my mindset. So we go from having a political debate to starving children in Africa to going all over the map that us INFPs do. And I remember him just laughing at me and putting his head on the table and shaking his head, and he stopped talking. So I don't know if that helps or hurts, or if this is a waste of time. I don't think it is, but I'm just saying we do get along. INFPs do get along with INTPs. The difference is mainly that the INTPs are very logical. They make decisions through their logic. And INFPs make their decisions through their feelings and values. So they can get along, or they can drive each other nuts. So, but that was a game I used to play, and I don't have energy for it anymore. But I used to like to get around people like INTPs and people like INTPs, and just kind of get them sucked in, have a nice debate, and then go off on my total INFP mindset. And our mind is not linear. It's all round and about, up and down, sideways, this, that, and the other. And we talk about everything, and then we finally come around to our point at the end. It will drive them nuts. I enjoy watching them squirm. I don't know, that's just me. I enjoy watching them squirm a little bit, and then I let up. So anyway, that's my take on the INFP getting along with INTPs. If you have any comments to that, or disagreements, whatever, that's fine. Comment below, like, share, subscribe. And until next time, stay safe.